Hello students, today we are going to discuss a concept related to joining of charged capacitors, corresponding loss of electrostatic energy and calculation of the final charge on capacitors. So first I will start with two capacitor problem and then I will move to the three capacitor problem, or you can apply the concept to four capacitor problem also. Suppose we have two capacitors. Let's say we have two capacitors C1 and another capacitor C2. I have two capacitors C1 and C2. I charge them, I connect those capacitors to some battery in individual circuits. C1 is separately connected to a battery, C2 is separately connected to some other battery. Let's say the battery with which C1 is connected is a V1 and the battery with which C2 is connected is V2. So these batteries will separately charge capacitor C1 and capacitor C2. Our capacitors C1 and C2 will be charged now. And what will be the charge on these capacitors? Because of batteries V1 and V2, the capacitor C1 and C2 will be charged. It is very obvious that the capacitor C1 will receive a charge of C1 V1 and minus C1 V1, and the capacitor C2 will receive a charge of C2 V2 here and minus C2 V2 on the other plate. So now the two capacitors are charged. Now our two capacitors are charged in two different circuits. Now what we are going to do is we will disconnect the capacitors. We are going to disconnect the capacitors from their respective batteries, and we are going to connect these two capacitors together. So the capacitor C1 and capacitor C2 are first disconnected from the source of battery, and then our capacitor C1 and capacitor C2 are connected together. So capacitor C1, it is disconnected from the battery. Capacitor C2 is also disconnected from the battery. But before disconnection, they are charged, which means capacitor C1 has a charge of plus C1 V1 here, minus C1 V1 here. Capacitor C2 has a charge of plus C2 V2 and minus C2 V2. So this is the status after disconnection from the batteries. And now we are going to connect these two capacitors. We are going to connect these two capacitors. So the first method is connect the positive plates together and connect the negative plates together. Now the two capacitors will rearrange themselves. The two capacitors will rearrange themselves and they will redistribute the charges. They will rearrange and they will redistribute the charges. Like so, if in final condition, I assume that in final condition, capacitor C1 and this is capacitor C2. In the final condition, I assume charge on capacitor C1 in the final condition to be small q1 and minus q1, and I assume charge on the capacitor 2 to be q2 and minus q2. And we have to solve the charges q1 and q2. We have to solve these two charges q1 and q2. So what you can do is follow two basic principles. First basic principle is charge conservation. The first basic principle is charge conservation. If I follow charge conservation, then it should be, since these plates, let's say the plates are A1 B1 and these are A2 B2. Notice that we have connected plate A1 to plate A2. Plate A1 is connected to plate A2. So since A1 is joined with A2, A1 is now joined with A2, so total charge on the two plates A1 A2 must be conserved. What was charge on A1? So the basic principle is that charge on plate A1 plus the charge on plate A2, the two plates which are connected together, it must be a constant parameter, the charge must be conserved. So what is charge on the plate A1? Before, in the initial condition, charge on the plate A1 is C1V1 and the charge on plate A2 is C2V2, whereas in the final condition, the charge on plate A1 is Q1 and the charge on plate A2 is Q2. So this is my first equation, which is conservation of charge. Now my second equation. The second equation is also a fundamental step, which is if you take integral of E vector, electric field vector, along any closed path, the integral of electrostatic field along any closed path must be equals to 0. It must be 0. Right? So this is my closed path. Electric field in the capacitor 1 will be from plus to minus. So this is going to be the direction of electric field from positive to negative. And electric field in the capacitor 2 will be in this direction from positive to negative. My closed path will start from here, from this point, and I will move like this. I will move like clockwise path. This is my closed path. So if I move around this closed path, then here we are going in the direction of electric field, and while coming back we are opposite to the electric field. Again, you start from here, and if you move to the right side, you are going in the direction of electric field, and then you are coming back against electric field. So if we are moving in the direction of electric field, it means dr and the electric field are in the same directions, and therefore this dot product must be a positive value. Also notice that E dot dr has a significance of potential difference. So starting from here, if you go to the right side, your first potential difference will be Q1 over C1 with a positive sign, as electric field and direction of movement are in the same directions. So this dot product will be positive. Then we are coming back, and while coming back, dr vector is opposite to the electric field vector. So this dot product is minus. So you will get minus Q2 over C2 as the potential difference, because E dot dr is value of the potential difference, and this is 0. This is my second equation. Through simultaneous equations, you can find out what is the value of Q1, and you can also find out what is the value of Q2 through simultaneous equations. I am not going to solve here, but through simultaneous equations 1 and 2, you can solve the value of Q1 and you can also solve the value of Q2. And if you solve the value of Q1 and Q2, it should be the value of Q1 will be C1 divided by C1 plus C2 cross multiplied by C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by, sorry, it is not divided by 1, and Q2 will be C2 divided by C1 plus C2 times C1 V1 plus C2 V2. You can find out the charges on capacitor in this way. Right. Now, for the energy analysis, energy before joining, if I calculate the energy before joining, then remember energy can be obtained by half. You should remember that energy of capacitor can be written as, you can write the energy of capacitor as Q square divided by twice of capacitance. So energy before will be half C1 V1 was the charge on the capacitor 1, Q square divided by C1, and then it is half C2 V2 was charge on the other capacitor and divided by C2. Whereas if I find energy after, I get half. Now the charge is Q1 on one capacitor divided by C1 plus half Q2 square and divided by C2. You have to substitute this value of Q1 and Q2 now. You need to substitute the values of Q1 and Q2. So after substitution Q1 and Q2, after substituting the values of Q1 and Q2, this energy will be 1 over 2 times of C1 and square of Q1 will be C1 square upon C1 plus C2 whole square, and then here you will have C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square. So the second term will be half C2 1 by 2 C2, and now you will have C2 square divided by C1 plus C2 whole square, and then C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square. Now you can simplify this expression. And after simplification, you will get as this whole square will be a common parameter divided by C1 plus C2 square will be common parameter, 2 will be common parameter, right? And then you will get C1 plus C2. So this C1 plus C2 square will be cancelled out. So this is the final energy, C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square and divided by twice of C1 plus C2. And then you can find out change of energy. The change in energy can be obtained now, and the change in energy will be final energy minus initial energy, C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by twice C1 plus C2, it is a square in the numerator, and minus your initial energies. Initial energies are 1 upon 2 C1 V1 square plus C2 V2 square. Now you can subtract these terms and you will get the change of energy as twice C1 plus C2 after simplification. Here I will have twice C1 C2 V1 V2 and minus 1. Right. Here you will have a term which is C2 C1 V1 square minus C1 C2 V2 square. This. After complete simplification, this value will be now, after complete simplification, you are going to get C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. Here C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2 1 upon 2, and then you will get here as V1 you will get at V1 minus V2 whole square, and then a negative sign will also be here. You will get a negative sign here, a minus sign, 1 by 2 C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2 V1 minus V2 whole square, and the negative sign indicates means energy is lost, change of energy is negative, which means the final energy is less than the initial energy, and the reduction, the loss of energy is actually accounted. There is a loss of energy which you can justify as the heating effect of current. That much energy will be dissipated in form of heat. Now the second possible case. Now you can have one more case here. You can have one more case where the positive plate of capacitor 1 is connected to the negative plate of capacitor 2. We can have this situation also. Plus C1 V1 minus C1 V1, and now you can connect the positive plate of C1 with the negative of C2 as minus C2 V2 plus C2 V2. In this way you can connect the circuit, and if you connect the circuit in this way, the process will remain same. There is no change in the process. That in final stage you will assume, in the final stage you will assume the charges on C1 and C2 as plus Q1 minus Q1 here. These are my assumptions, plus Q2 and minus Q2. Remember, this is plate A1 and this is B1. This is plate A2 and this is plate B2. Since A1 and A2 are joined together, I will follow the same concept, which is charge on plate A1 plus charge on plate A2 will be constant. The charge on plate A1 is plus charge on A2 will be constant. Charge on A1 in the beginning is plus C1 V1. Charge on A2 in the beginning is minus C2 V2 is equals to, finally the charges are plus Q1 and plus Q2. So this is your first equation now. And the second equation will be again the same step, the same process, which is integral of E vector along any closed path has to be 0, the same rule. So I am following this path again. My closed path will start from here and I will go in clockwise direction. I will go in the clockwise direction like this. Here we are moving in the direction of electric field, since electric field will be from plus to minus. This is the direction of electric field and we are moving in the direction of electric field. So E dot dr at this place will be a positive value. So you can write it Q1 by C1 as the potential difference with plus sign. And then we are coming back here. We are coming back. And while coming back, we are opposite to the electric field. So you will get a negative sign. And then it is Q2 by C2 equals to 0. This is your second equation. Apply the mathematical portion as we did in the previous example. Solve these two equations. Solve these two equations and then you will get the answers. But this time your answer Q1 will be, now you will get Q1 as C1 upon C1 plus C2 times C1 V1 minus C2 V2, and you will get Q2 as C2 divided by C1 plus C2 times C1 V1 minus C2 V2. And then by doing all the exercise which we did in the previous example, you will get loss of energy as half C1 C2 over C1 plus C2 and then V1 plus V2 whole square. Right. Now, so this was two capacitor problem. Now, if you follow the same principles, conservation of charge and closed path integration E dot dr equals to 0, then you can solve the questions consisting of 3 capacitors, consisting of 4 capacitors and even more capacitors also. So I will take one example of 3 capacitors, and this is a problem from JEE 1997 subjective question. I am going to discuss a problem which is asked in JEE 1997. It was a subjective problem, and in this problem we have 3 capacitors which are connected with each other like this. The 3 capacitors are connected together. The left side capacitor is 3 microfarad capacitance and it was charged with plus minus 100 volt as given in that problem. It has a 2 microfarad capacitance and this is uncharged. Second capacitor was uncharged. It was uncharged. This third capacitor is 2 microfarad again and it is charged by minus plus 180 volt, and this is 2 microfarad capacitance, and it was the status at initial moment. In the initial moment, the 3 capacitors were arranged like this. They were connected like this, and we have to find what will be the final charge. We have to find what is going to be the final charge on the capacitors, and then one more part was there. What was the energy of system before joining and what was the energy of system after joining? In other words, we have to find loss of energy. So the whole idea of question is similar to the question which we discussed here. The only difference is we discussed 2 capacitor problem and it is now 3 capacitor problem. But the process will remain as it is. So the solution will be like this. You assume charges on the plates in final stage. That is the step number 1. You can deal all such problems in a systematic manner, and the systematic manner to deal these problems is assume charges on the capacitors as Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on. So let I assume the charge on plus 3 as Q1 and minus Q1. I assume charge here as plus Q2 and minus Q2, and I assume charge here is plus Q3 and minus Q3. Let the plates were named as plate number 1, plate number 2, plate number 3, plate number 4, plate number 5 and plate number 6. Notice that which two plates are connected together. Which two plates are connected together. So if you look into the circuit, your plate number 1 and this plate number 3, plate number 1 and plate number 3, these two plates are connected together. So the charge on plate 1 and plate 3, since plate 1 and plate 3 are connected together, 1 and 3, plate number 1 and plate number 3, the plate 1 and plate 3, these plates are connected. So conservation of charge will be valid for these two plates only. What is charge on plate 1 and plate 3? So the charge on plate 1, this was plate number 1 and this was plate number 3. So the charge on plate number 1 is now Q1, whereas charge on plate number 3 is Q2. So total charge on plate 1 and plate 3 in the final stage is equal to total charge on plate 1 and plate 3 in the initial stage. And in the initial stage, this plate 1 is having a charge of 100 into 3, which is 300 microcoulomb, and this plate number 3 is having a charge 0 as it is uncharged. So this is my conservation of charge for plate 1 and plate 3. Now plate 2 and plate 6 are also connected. This plate 2 and this plate 6. Plate 2 is connected to plate 6. So what is charge on this plate 2 now, and what is charge on the plate 6 now? Charge on plate 2 is now minus Q1, whereas charge on plate 6 is minus Q3. So this is the total charge, should be equal to the initial charge. At the initial moment, plate number 2 has a charge of minus 300 microcoulomb and plate number 6 has a charge of 2 into 180, which is 360 plus 360 microcoulomb. So that is second equation now. Notice that we have three variables, Q1, Q2 and Q3. We have obtained two equations by conservation of charges. You can think of getting one more equation by conservation of charge of plate 4 and plate 5. But by following the conservation of charge of plate 4 and plate 5, you will not get any independent equation. If you follow conservation of charge of plate 4 and plate 5, you are not going to have any independent equation. You will get the sum of these two equations now. So always keep one equation, always prepare one equation, always make one equation by this method. Final equation should be from this closed path integration E dot dr equals to 0. Now if I follow that equation, that closed path integration of E dot dr will be 0 for any circuit. I start from here, plus and minus, so electric field is in this direction now, plus minus electric field is in this direction, plus minus electric field is in this direction. So these are the directions of the electric field. Now start from here, and if you move to the right hand side, and travel in clockwise direction, travel like this. So here we are moving in the direction of electric field. So E dot dr will be a positive value. So put a positive sign, and the significance of E dot dr will be potential difference, which you can write Q2 divided by 2. then you are going in this direction, which is again in the direction of electric field, so a positive sign, but the potential difference will be written as charge Q3 divided by the capacitance 2. And then we are going in this direction, which is opposite to this electric field, so against electric field you will have a minus sign, and this is Q1 divided by the capacitance 3 and should be 0. So this is my third equation. Now I have to solve all the three equations. I will solve all the three equations, and if you can or I can solve all the three equations, I hope we can get the values of Q1, Q2 and Q3 also. I leave this mathematical part for you. Solve these three equations, get the values of Q1, Q2 and Q3. And unfortunately, if you get the value as a negative number, it is quite possible, because we assumed Q1, Q2, Q3 and we also assumed their polarities. We assumed positive on this side, negative on this side. We assumed plus on top side, minus on the bottom side. So it is possible that after going through the three mathematical equations, you can have a negative value either for Q1 or for Q2 or for Q3, or you may have positive value for all the three variables. That's a possibility. So if you get a negative value of charge, if you get any value negative, like if you get Q1 as a negative value, or if you get Q2 as a negative value, or if you get Q3 as a negative value, there is nothing to be worried about. The only correction which you have to do is change the polarities of capacitor for which the charge calculation is a negative number. What I mean, if I get Q2 is suppose I get Q2 as a negative value. So if I get Q2 as negative value, then only thing which I have to do is minus of Q2 will be on this side and plus of Q2 will be on right hand side, nothing else. And once you have the values of charges, you can follow loss of energy. You can calculate loss of energy also. And how can you calculate the loss of energy? So you can calculate the energy in the energy in the initial stage, because if it is a loss, then initial energy must be higher than the final energy. So you will have initial energy minus final energy. Initially, this 3 microfarad capacitance will have an energy of 1/2 3 into 100 square by half CV square formula. Then this 2 microfarad capacitor will have energy half 2 into 180 square. And now in the final stage, we have Q1, Q2, Q3 as the charges. So it will be half Q1 square over 3 microfarad plus half Q2 square by 2 and half Q3 square by 2 as the final energy. Subtract the values and you will come to know what is the loss of energy. And obviously the unit of energy will be microjoules here, because we are using capacitances in microfarads, we are using charges in microcoulombs. So the unit of energy calculation will be microjoule. In this way, you can deal all such problems where some charged capacitors or uncharged capacitors are connected together. Positive of one plate is connected to negative of other plate, and so on. Similar concepts. Keep in mind the two basic principles. The two fundamentals are conservation of charge for those two plates which are connected together, and finally you must have one equation which is closed path integration of E vector dot dr must be 0 value, which sometimes you can call it Kirchhoff's loop rule for the circuits, right? Hope now this concept is clear to you. If you find any difficulty, if still you have any problem, if you are facing any problem in similar questions, feel free to contact me or drop a message to me. Take care, stay at home, and all the best for your J exam.